Out here in the desert, man, anything's possible. That's why I moved out here. You gotta free your mind.
Okay.
If you know me, you know I have a certain way of working with others and introducing them to the nonsense in my head. Johnny's a good friend and a longtime fraternizer of the crazy. Super creative, you know, always fun to work with. And I got this project that is right up his alley. I don't actually know what we're building yet, but I got some ideas. So stoked you finally got out here.
Anytime you come into Ian Roussel's full custom garage, it's always like, okay, what am I getting myself into?
So this might look familiar to you,
Yes.
but it's not what you think it is.
It's a bug. What do you mean it's not what I think it is?
But it's not a bug.
It's not a bug? That looks like a bug to me.
Yes, but it's not gonna be. You kind of have a take on things like no one I've ever worked with. You know, you got that unique cartoon brain. So this is just a start. I don't want it to be a bug. I want it to be some cartoon, custom cartoon hot rod. We played twice with Volkswagens,
Yeah.
and I want it to be a little different.
Okay.
I want supercalifragilistic expialidocious. That's what I'm looking for this time.
Okay.
For me, it's all about getting people out of the place they're comfortable, where they exist, and into the land of the free thinkers. Normally, I'd ask you to just sketch something, right?
Right.
Okay, but we're gonna do a little more sculpting this time.
Okay.
Less of this and more of this.
I'm down for that. I'm down to get out of my comfort zone and, you know, ditch the pens and pencil.
I'm thinking, you know, wild show car,
Low.
more art than function.
Chopped.
All about the look,
Crazy.
presentation.
Different.
Favorite thing about working with Johnny is the end result is always something outlandish, you know, true cartoon proportions.
Meeting Ian many years ago on our first collaboration, which was the Johnny 5, which was taking a drawing that I had done, and then getting an opportunity to be called back to work on something that was his, and then take a drawing that we did in-house and create something off that, to now, which is, you know, car number 4. Who knows what it's gonna be?
Of course, I have some things in mind, but I don't want to reveal all my cards just yet. I want to get Johnny thinking. We've been around the block a few times. I'm looking for new territory, but it's got to start somewhere. And I know I want this windshield down low, like maxed out. Like when you see this thing coming down the road, you're like,
Dang, what is that?
or what's wrong with that guy? And I got a bunch of saw blades. Let's get to it. Self-leveling goggles. Just keep the bubble in the center.
So I have to look cross-eyed?
Look at that, it's art.
Oh, there you go. And you don't want to mark that with anything?
Can we just mark it?
I gotta say, it's pretty darn satisfying to be cutting that up.
You know what the hard part is?
Putting it back together?
Exactly. You got $1? You got any money?
What do you want $1 for?
Dollar bill, yo.
I got a 5.
That works for me. Thanks. See the man at the door. I'll show you the.
It's the oldest magician trick in the book.
I want to make the windshield the old dollar bill trick. That much.
Okay.
I don't know where the dollar bill windshield size ever came from, but I can only think that I heard of it at some car show. You know, the old guys talking about a chop. Man, that was so radical. His windshield was smaller than a dollar bill. You got a dollar bill size windshield, right? Somewhere in that direction. It's pretty interesting to look out of. You're not seeing a lot. You go smaller than that. I mean, that's where I want to be. That's pretty substantial chop. That's not messing around.
I mean, it looks freaking cool.
I think I want to see it with the mystery element, the thing you weren't expecting.
Okay, what is that?
Aha!
What is that?
It's a shower stall.
Looks like an amusement park ride.
I really like to fill my collaborators with confusion and deprive them of the common sense methods of car fabrication.
What is this thing again?
I don't know, it was out in the desert. It's got like, you know, charisma, right?
It could be something.
It's a fine piece of fiberglass, is it not?
This is the classic thing that Ian does. He'll bring in some weird thing and go, hey, Johnny, what are we doing with this?
I'll rotate the top forward.
Part of me was kind of hoping for another bubble. You know, bubbles are cool. That isn't cool, at least from what I can tell.
What's with all the chuckling? I'm serious now.
No, I'm just saying this is, you know, yeah.
What part of this don't you understand?
Oh, man. It's either, yeah. Why should I have thought anything else would happen? This is, okay. Let's see, what are we doing?
Yeah, baby, yeah. So now sit back and look at this. Does it look like a bug anymore?
No.
Oh no, soldier down. We're losing Johnny. I better reel him back before we veer too far off course. Here, this might sweeten the deal a little. These are a little bigger than the stock bug rims.
Yeah. Those are fatties.
I said it before, said it a million times. There's nothing like the wheel and tire combo to shine that guiding light on any project.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Maybe
We're stacking parts. It's starting to have a feeling.
fenderless, I like the wide tire. Or are we doing fenders?
We're 3 steps into this. I already fleeced you for $5. Let's not rush things.
Very true, you did.
We still got to change everything.
Right.
But other than that, we're on a pretty good course. Ladies and gentlemen, we've taken the first step in a journey of 1,000 miles. Next stop, Envisioning Central. Nothing like a good night's sleep to clear the air, give you a fresh perspective. We're on the same page. This thing's got to be extreme, and extreme means more. Looking at it at this point, we know it's got to go lower. Oh, look, now you're getting into the small change.
Yeah, I got smart, you took my 5.
Oh, yeah, no, we still got plenty of room. We still got 2 inches to go. Now you've done it. So we gotta cut the roof in the center and widen it 3 inches to match up. While you're doing that, I'm gonna set up the van roof for a 3-inch narrowing. My favorite styling period for cars is that Art Deco, right? The waterfall from the top to the fenders to the ground. That's why I started with this bug, because it has the building blocks for that style. I don't think we're gonna end up with like a masterpiece just from the get-go, right? We're gonna look at something, we're gonna take it back, it's gonna be up and down, side to side. It's gonna be a mess, it's gonna be fun. Who cares what it looks like along the way?
I must have missed it.
Ready? Chaos, disorder. You know what? We might use this back window flange when we widen that front windshield.
Oh, yeah.
Same molding, right?
Yeah, the arc is the same too on the back.
Looking at this rear flange, it looks well within the realms of possibility. I mean, we all know there's been much more absurdities than that in this shop. And that's 3. One last look from afar. Looks good. Aha! Roll this up and out a bit.
Look at that. That's pretty close.
Prepare to weld. It's textbook, right? It's the old back flange in the front trick, the upside down and backwards trick. Same as the flip it, slap it, reverse it trick. You'd be surprised at how often it works. Say, that's quite the chop top.
Yeah, dude.
Just what the doctor ordered.
For sure.
It's our windshield, sir.
I think it looks perfect.
The windshield height is pretty much where we're at. So just getting that in place. Do we like that front view? All right, let's move on. The big benefit of fiberglass in this project is we're going to be able to build, cut back, without ever actually having like a final surface represented for just about till the end of the project. So just envisioning all the time. And I love the wedge chop in the door frame now.
Right?
We'll jig it up, we can glass it right there. And once it's one piece again, we can always shift it a little bit more. But I see a couple big hurdles to jump with the back of this car. This is pretty complex. Johnny and I got the roof all glassed up. It's still in a pretty raw state, but it's darn strong. My plan is to keep plowing forward with our loose mock-up and see what happens when the dust settles. The top was my first piece, that I wanted to work with. I got some other fiberglass also. Check out these two rear fenders. Legit.
Oh, wow.
With the flare, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to pretty much like reshape the whole back of this thing. This was a quick mod. This is way dimensional and nothing lines up.
For sure. For sure. We got to keep that flow coming back the way it's going to look right.
Johnny says he's got some ideas for the rear of this thing, and this is a free mock-up zone. All mock-ups, all the time. All ideas are welcome.
All right.
Uh-huh.
And you like the old, ambulances? The doors were on an angle. When they hinged, they kind of hinged outward.
Oh, yeah, so they slammed
There was an
open.
angle
Yeah.
to the back of those ambulances. These will be one piece that'll tuck in through that fender gap.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
bottom
so
line.
the whole back of the vehicle is open. I love this.
Yeah.
It's like flowing away. Like that.
That is cool.
Johnny's idea solves a few things, namely the largeness of the rear of the engine. It helps with the angle of the car. It looks a little more aggressive leaning forward like that. The next thing is to define a few of the lines in the rear. By cutting that apart and reconfiguring it, we're gonna have to come up with some side panels to blend it all together. You wanna get on your head leveling gear, or do you think we could just freelance this?
I think we probably freelance it.
You can put your levels on.
I've worn those goggles enough.
You can put your levels on it anytime.
You got your laugh, pal.
I like it. If you could do that on mirror image on the other side, we're onto something. The whole thing here is to just get this into one piece, get rid of all the big holes and missing parts of the car, get a clear side profile, and then move forward. But looking at the rear fenders, I can see we've got way bigger fish to fry. This is a perfect example of how this car is gonna come together. We're gonna try to cut right to the chase. Quick mock-up, make it stick, move on. Back forward again. Right there, sir. Let me cut a few strips of metal and then we'll clamp this.
Okay.
This is where this design will depart from that 30s styling, which was very sensible, very glamorous. We have all of these shapes that have been formed. We're moving them around and they're gonna have to be reoriented. The way that the tires will be arranged with the fender lip. This is going into that edgy, weird, definitely looking forward from the 1930s. Interesting how messy that all looks. To create this armature, like the old suit of armor with the faceted panels, the whole idea is creating a compound curve in the simplest terms. That way we can lay this fiberglass on and keep it suspended while it cures. I just want to get a representation of this arch on the fender, and I want to get it to the nose, because you think I had some screwball parts so far. Wait till you see what I'm thinking about for the front.
All right.
Another fine mess you've gotten us into, Johnny.
Dude.
That is substantial. That's a 6-inch wider fender.
When you started doing it, I'm like, I don't, how's it gonna work?
Interesting. What you can do with some foil tape, an old fender, 500,000 screws, and some spray paint. I want to do all the fiberglass in the same realm, the same time period. Let's mock up this front. I got a pretty wild idea for the front, but the flared fenders are definitely a part of it.
This whole time, the way we've been looking at this, I'm like, what are we gonna do at the front? What's going on here?
Time's upon us. I gotta spill the beans and reveal the rest of my mystery elements. Ta-da!
Yeah, that's just Volkswagen. They were getting the Volkswagen out of it.
You know that saying where how can you find your mind unless you've lost it first?
Okay.
So how can you build something that's not a Volkswagen without having a Volkswagen first?
He's messing with me. He's telling me, listen, you gotta lose your mind, and I'm trying to lose my mind. This is just a base. Settle down, Johnny. Everything's gonna be fine.
Look at these fine units, right? This way of working isn't for the faint-hearted envisioner. It's gonna take mucho gusto to see through to the end result.
I mean, there's definitely some good jumping off point shapes like we did to the back end.
Now, I know what you're saying. As much of a timeless classic design, and just what more could you want out of that VW front end? I want a little different. Check this out. I got these. First piece is from Speedway.
Here we finally get a piece of hot rod parts that we're gonna put on this thing. Now we're going where I was hoping we were gonna go.
Now, does that look like a PT Cruiser? No. Does it look like a Volkswagen Bug? No. You know, I want this thing to be like total departure from the Bug look. Look how it fits the curve of the VW.
It does. I
hood.
mean, it does have some really cool shaping to it. I mean, this really does. The flow of this really flows with what we've created.
The same sedan delivery, it had this hood, which is a totally different style. But I just chopped the top of this off. See, these two, they could be spliced to go together. It could work. This is why I never showed Johnny or talked to him about changing the grill, because I wanted this kind of wake-up call, right? He's like, where is this going? That's what I was looking for. I don't know, Johnny, you tell me.
It definitely goes more towards that old sedan delivery look that we kind of captured in the back.
Yeah, exactamento.
I mean, I'm totally seeing this.
I like the direction this grill puts us in, but it's gonna be a tough match to make it convincing. I love this layback of the grill. Like, I love this attitude, and I love this attitude.
For sure, for sure. It just goes, whoa!
Yeah, 100%. If there's one thing we both agree on, it's that this grill has to move backwards into the car, rearward.
For sure.
This is a big point in the stance of the car, right? We don't want the grill to look stuck on. Something about having the grill pretty close to the front of the fenders just gives it that actual car look. Let's see what happened. What do you think, further back?
I think so.
Now she's setting in place. How do you feel about that? We got these fenders, let's splice them in and figure out how it's gonna work. Because right now it does. It looks like a Volkswagen with a grill stuffed on the front.
Right.
And I ain't got time for that.
The more we cut out of it, the cooler it starts to look.
Both of these can just kind of be like masked right on there for now.
All right. There's the beauty of all this customization is stuff is happening organically on its own that's showing up.
What if there were no headlights? Like, just close your eyes and imagine.
I like that idea.
I don't know, just seeing those shapes wrapped around. What if those big, graceful, curving fenders, like, were just, you didn't even have those headlight eyebrows.
Yeah.
During this process, one cannot be swayed by the ability to see in the dark. You know, it's like, does it look good or doesn't it? There's always a workaround.
Cut it!
Section A, where it's a flow with segment B.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm totally down with no headlights. I'm like, yeah, eliminate all the headlights. No headlamps whatsoever.
Here, open this.
And then he hands me headlights.
Look at that gem. Before we commit to a complete headlight delete, I brought out a few pieces for consideration. They're definitely small, but
Yeah, dude. They're all the same shapes. Triangular in the grill, triangular in the hood, and then the triangular in the lights. It's the same shape.
we can go multiple directions with this headlight situation. We're just gonna keep keeping on and see what happens. You know, the initial layout is here, and that's what I asked you to come by for, like the concept, right? I needed that cartoon brain to work with me, and I mean, this thing's way out of proportion. You know, I'm gonna put my twist on a few things, but I think Johnny and I have a strong representation of where this is going.
It's the funnest part of collaborating with you is just bringing out these crazy ideas.
I knew that your time was going to be pretty strict, and you see the amount of work it takes time-wise just to mock up what we did.
Right.
So
I like everything about it. I just don't like the fact I have to leave.
I think you should feel a lot better that you don't have to stay for the remainder of this.
Why, sure.
Quite frankly, I'll go to Florida,
Yeah.
I'll put on my work clothes, and you can handle all this. Don't take off that thinking cap just yet. We're getting in deep now. You know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Fiberglass is a messy business. Working on our concepts, it starts with this, you know, steel strip mock-up structure. Start adding fiberglass, then go right into this heavy kitty hair, they call it, body filler. It's a long procedure. If you've done body work, you know it. Love this gigantic grill. It's pretty radical design. I don't know if anybody else sees it, but I could see something, and I like it. There's two things that are really bugging me, and did I say bugging me? There's two things that are bothering me. There's no bug in this project. To me, these two bulges, you know, it's showing the VW hood. I think the next thing to do is get out the old saw and do some work. The VW is this bulbous hood coming down, and the Ford is very straightforward going into the grille. So this area where the VW meets the Ford, it's all gonna get cut out. So there's your problem right there. I think I'm going right for the cut on both sides. As if I didn't have enough sanding to do. You can just see what it's got to do. See that? Matches this curve, and that's going to roll right in. It's the same process as the rest of the car, you know, build a support structure, lay some fiberglass, and finish from there. A great man once said, the first cut is always the ugliest. And I concur. This arrowhead shape is growing from here to here. It always looks so raw in the mock-up. Here, it's a very tight curve. It's gonna be something more in that realm. And instead of trying to lay all this out, it's gonna start to distort these two. So I think I'm gonna create a drape of fiberglass. So this hood will come straight down and then just come in and create that curve. So my time weaving baskets in the Polynesian islands have given me this skill. Sometimes I'll do it in a herringbone pattern. It all depends how I'm feeling. This is your standard Easter basket pattern. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. You know, it's kind of like Disneyland, where it's not the happiest place on earth, it's the itchiest. A lot of times I'll lay the fiberglass on the car and then brush it in. But in this case, there's really nothing to push against. It's just gonna deform that web. So that's why the first piece I'm gonna wet right here and just hang it in place. See, these are just like stickers at this point. Man, I get so much flack about how I do fiberglass. Apparently, I'm doing something that's a little outside of the average. They scoff at my technique. It's really satisfying to see this radical departure from that VW hood. You know, that looked good, this looks gooder. So once this is rebuilt, this gets popped off, turned upside down, and all the stuff in there gets torn out. So it's just a one-piece fiberglass, as it was, as it should be. This whole nose job is definitely an improvement, but I got two even better ideas for the sides of the car. I think I'll tie it all together. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10 pieces to make this front clip. I feel like it needs something to tie it together. So everything about the styling from the late 30s, pretty much the VW followed with it, right? You had running boards on the car. Very reminiscent to that period of style. You know, it's the bubble fenders front and back, and then a big pronounced running board where the door jamb opens. So this car's got to follow suit. My first thought is let's continue that running board idea, but let's just bring them way out. I don't want it to be a hard bend. I want it to radius down. So it has that same kind of waterfall effect as the rest of the car, down, down. The challenge here is to keep this graceful, curvy flow through the whole design of the car. It's the story of my life. I want an end result, and I can't get there without just figuring it out. So nothing like some old school metal forming. Whatever it takes, by all means necessary. Try something. Told you it's got some force. Back in 3rd grade when I used to cut school, they used this thing. Taught me a lesson. I like that. So by using the wood to the wood, you don't have the real power to dent the metal. Just goes to show you, sometimes those 3rd grade punishments pay off. Now we're getting somewheres. I mean, look at the dimension now when you're looking at it. It's got dementia. Hey, sometimes you just luck out. This is exactly what I was envisioning. So fiberglass doesn't bond to steel very well. So usually what I do is I'll drill these holes through here, scuff it up really good. I'll laminate to it, and then later on the underside, bond it like that, almost like a plug weld. I don't even know if this works, but you can consider it another tip from Honest Ian's fiberglass service. I like the nostalgia. I like the fact that Ed Roth built a lot of cars like this. And again, that's the real beauty of this stuff. It's not rocket science. You can try this at home. These running boards really tied both sides together. The front to the rear, they got the same thing now. There's really something that I'm considering. It's kind of a big deal. It could be the make it or break it moment for this project. Been making some progress, you know, the filling out of the running board area under the doors totally works. Johnny and I were talking about the chop top on this. We laid that roof panel in place and it was all kind of up in the back. I brought it down a few inches. And that level, you know, it looked better. So I started to get into that door frame and I slanted the B-pillar. You know, it has that type of Merc lead sled feel to it. I went that route and really just started thinking, you know, in the look of it, like, could it be different? Could it be better? Is this really what I'm building? A station wagon? One thing I really love is I'm not afraid to change my mind about things. This is the way I roll. Like, no matter how deep you get, I'm always open to it. Like, well, what if, you know? I had to take the fiberglass roof cap off to do all this structure. It's way easier to reach in and do the welding and whatnot. Man, when I took the fiberglass roof off, it was a whole different car. I looked at the car and I was like, that thing looks fast. It looks so different. That big shape up here was not doing anything for the car. Look at this, like coupe roof. You know, it's almost like a Zephyr where it comes up and then bubbles up again. I forgot that I left the rear window frames in place. And when I looked at that with the slanted B-pillar, I was kind of knocked out. I wasn't expecting it. One thing I know is you can always go backwards on things, right? I just got this itch that needs scratching. The van roof, the wagon thing, it looks pretty cool, but what if? I had this idea, a revelation. This is a Dodge. I think it's about a 37, 38, 39, I don't know. And when I saw it, of course, I fell in love with this, you know, the giant sloping back. They're always my favorite body styles. I love this split window. It's a pretty unique vehicle. I don't want to do measuring. I don't want to do thinking about nothing. I want to cut this apart, place it on that bug. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Either way, if it doesn't fit that car, this car is on its way to a fresh chop top. It's a win-win. First things first is to remove those rear windows. Look at that, the glass goes in. Maybe I'll just cut the whole roof off with the windows in. I don't want to get in there. This thing was a chicken coop, mouse house, rat's nest. Could have been a damn Loch Ness monster in there for all I know. I think I could take this roof off in 3 notes. You might not believe me when I say I don't take a lot of measurements, but I don't really take a lot of measurements. That's how I roll. It's crazy how a car this big looks all structure, like a battleship, but it's just flimsy sheet metal in these elaborate arched shapes. Look at that thing. Ooh, it looks like a ghost ship. All right, all my grandiose ideas have led up to this. What we have here is considered a clean slate. Anything could happen from this point. That's nasty. That's just looking for trouble, this car. Holy guacamole. I think the Dodge designers had some inspiration from them VW designers. It's a match. A little of this, a little of that. I mean, look at this, right? Bang. Talk about a natural. Do you see the way that this convoluted brain works? Now, can you finally understand why I can't sleep at night? This came out way cleaner than I ever thought it would. Literal shot in the dark, right? It's a perfect fit. Truly lucking out. I think this is why I had that urge, because something deep inside said, do it. And I done did it. So this Type 3 engine is what I had planned for the van, but you see how far it's stuck out of the back. Type 1 will allow this deck lid to go on. Everything will be all right. This is working. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. So these are the 3 pieces I'm working with. The original deck lid from the Dodge, this forward piece of the roof skin, and of course the rear piece of the roof skin. I want that kind of coupe feeling. I don't want it to be the fastbacks. Those back windows are unidentifiable in the Volkswagen world. I might even leave the Dodge emblem on the back just to really concern people. Every project needs some breakthroughs, and that's just what I got here. Next thing is to get this rear end figured out. I gotta tell you, this Dodge roof was a pretty solid donor. After all the trimming and fitting and everything, you can see, look at this contour. You know, it's still just very roughly tacked in place. You really notice it with the chop now. See this hard kind of transition? The VW dome comes up. It's a lot more in this area. This broad, flat plane really adds to the chopped look of the whole thing. The interesting thing about the car is in photos, it's gonna look awesome, right? Until you walk up on it, it's like, what? This thing's miniature. It seriously seems smaller every time you look at it. Next step is making that connection between the back windows and the roof skin to the deck lid. Got a good start on it, just gotta connect the dots. I've been using this same process of these strips through the whole project, and it works pretty well for this part of it too, even though this is all steel and getting welded together. To create this in one piece of steel will be pretty complex without a buck or anything to work off of, so using these strips, it allows me to create this flowing surface from this very flat glass into the deck lid, but then blend down so you have that waterfall effect that you see on all the Art Deco cars, you know. This roof swap might have been way late in the game, but I think it's much better for it. I just don't want to hear a bunch of PT Cruiser jokes. That's what it comes down to. Getting this fleshed out, I mean, it's gonna work. The coupe thing was sort of just a last-minute swap out of everything. So, you know, getting these 2 panels rough mocked up, I think it's gonna flow. Gonna need some kind of ventilation for the engine. That's kind of where I'm at next. This car actually had this stainless steel firewall you see a lot. Cut this out and take a look. I don't know, like if you get a little curve both ways. That's pretty slick. See the difference in reflective value? See how it's up here? So once that's painted, you're gonna have, man, such a smooth car, and then you run into this field of wavy things. Nothing worse than a field of wavy things. So we got this as well. This is the original VW vent. It already makes the sound like it belongs there. Sometimes offering up different parts doesn't really flow with the project per se. Custom might not always be the best answer. Reimagining some of the factory stampings kind of helps it flow a bit better. Decisions. See, these are flat, right? So it's like, if I put louvers there, it's gonna mess with the overall flow of that line, guaranteed. You got that when you want. What if it was up here? I would say it, but it goes without saying. That settles it. Let's get out the cutting materials. Part of using these stock vents also adds to the mystique. It's like, I don't identify that rear window as VW, but the vents are just like a VW. What's going on there? Aha! I will remove one worthless piece of sheet metal and replace it with another worthless piece. Ta-da! That's what I'm looking for. That works. This is where the fusion really takes place. You got the clearly identifiable VW vents in the same position as they would be on the Bug, but with a Dodge back window and roof. This is coming in. This looks a little bulgy now. I could tailor this, and that's really what I'm getting to is the final bits of modifications. Having this roof at such a different attitude, so all of a sudden the nose looks gigantic. The nose looks like it's pointing up into that sky. Again, it's not something I saw until I saw it. It's like the hood is like that, and the rest of the car is like that. Needs to be a happy medium. One of those big points from the mock-up with Johnny was this kind of shark nose appearance that the hood is having. It's always been kind of up, kind of snooty, and I want it to look a little down. That's exactly where this needed to go. Just a little bit down. Gotta say, this is feeling exactly like I was hoping. It's got the flow, it's got the windows, it's got the rake, it's got the nose, rims, tires, everything's looking good, man. It's not like any Volkswagen I've ever seen before. That was kind of the goal. It's a lot of finishing work, but it's almost there. The car will tell you what to do, right? So far, this thing's been tight-lipped. It ain't telling me nothing. It doesn't even know what it is. It's like, I thought I was a custom Volkswagen. Nope, the car's not saying a thing. I don't know. It's gonna take a little bit of thinking. I gotta say, there's nothing like a zillion hours block sanding to get the old blood pumping. Hoo-wee. Pretty much started down the center to the rear of the car and just got it all fit up. Yeah, the biggest trouble was getting this grille on the front. Physically, the Ford car is so much bigger than a Bug, so I cut the bottom of that up, and then I cut the top to get that hood to come down. And now finally, you know, the hood has got a light arc down. It's pointy like the grille. Everything's different. The biggest challenge of this nose piece was to get the contour of that Ford grille coming right into the A-pillar area. And yeah, we changed everything, but it works. The grille follows with that height. So even though it's all deleted and smooth, it's still proportional. Building a project like this, it takes a lot of material. ITW Evercoat brought in all that kitty hair and the body filler to help me realize this vision. We shaved off all the drip rails. Something about the way the stock door came up. It was a square top, and it just bugged me, you know? With no drip rail now, it just flows right around. It's a pretty drastic change from the station wagon Johnny and I were creating. I call this like the ghost, right? When it's just in pure white primer and it has no features. It's got no real attitude yet. It's just gotta be straight, all the same color. My whole goal here is to get this thing block sanded and get it into primer, you know, be able to see the actual body surface refined to something that's almost paintable. That's one of the nice things about Volkswagens. You can put them on moving dollies. Whoa! Since we got the top side looking good, the next step is to raise this up and pull out all that armature that Johnny and I put under there. All those metal straps, there's a bunch of screws, there's some tape, might even be a sweatshirt in there, I don't know. It's gotta be tidy, top to bottom. Can you dig it? This project's been a good example of the adaptability of fiberglass forming. Aha! We literally threw the kitchen sink and a bunch of other stuff at it and, gooed it all together to a refined finish. With everything pulled out from underneath, no one else will know what happened, except you and I. Pretty much it. I think I'll just do a little fill-in and undercoat these. Once I got the underneath cleaned out, I got the exterior refined, and this thing's looking like a whole different specimen. This is the point I was trying to get to. All that thought, the radical change from the station wagon to this, I am stoked. I think this typifies like my style, right? It's cartoony, it looks like a big toy. Got these radical proportions. I mean, dare I say, it's got a bit of a street rod feel to it, It's all smooth, there's no fender welt, it's all blended together, there's no drip rails. It looks like a big plastic car. It is a big plastic car, who am I kidding? It's low, it's nose down. It's almost not a Volkswagen. The hardest part with this entire project was right in here. You can see how flat the Dodge roof gets. I needed this to bunch up so that the engine fit in there. So I came up with this kind of panel. It kind of goes down, and then you see the trunk lid area. But I wanted this impossible kind of wedge-shaped rear. The case of these rear vents is a clear example of kind of winging it. When you change one thing, you change everything, so you got to adapt as you go. A lot of people probably be asking, why is there only one door handle? Because this is invitation only. You want entry? Hello? We just freestyled the whole deal. I had this scrap VW Bug, this kooky artist from the East Coast. I was like, hey man, let's figure it out. Naturally, two big shout outs are in order, right? This does not happen solo. Johnny Jalopy came in and slammed it. Got that concept and all the creative elements flowing. Alan Banuelos, the unsung hero, the dude with the 36 grit, 80, 120, 200 hours? I don't know. All it took. A nice little weekend project to just pass some time with a friend. And here we are, no fingertips. 500,000 sheets of sandpaper. We finished the bodywork. We put a good coat of primer with a little color tint in it just to give it a little flair. Mocked up the windows, got the lights in place. The stance, that's on for me. Pretty tasty. This is just another example of the universe that we're creating here. Why not? Why can't you make a lowrider, street rod, Volkswagen from another dimension? I really want to take my time with this. This thing's going into cold storage for a bit, but it's not going to sit there long. Get on to a couple other projects and visit this later. This is a project I got pretty recently. I think it's right up your alley. Check this thing out.
What is this?
It's like a 37 or 38 Dodge.
Wow, pre-war.
Yeah, I did a few things and lost the roof somewhere.
Hey, it happens.
I got my friend Alan out for a stroll through the wrench. He's a really talented guy, always up for anything, so that gives him a 5-star rating in my book. Plus, look at that hat. Extra points. This car is pretty much just turning into parts, They left us under a tree, so it's pretty rotten underneath, but I think the rest of it's got a lot of potential. I had a plan for the roof, but now I want to utilize the entire vehicle.
Yeah, no, I see it, man. You have a lot of good metal on here.
It's got a lot of cool details on it. You might remember this Dodge from a project I did recently, that chop top VW build. The roof skin came in clutch on that project. I mean, it brought it to a whole different realm. So I'm thinking, man, the remainder of this car might have the same magic on this project I'm considering. It's not a pretty car, but it's got charisma. This might look like a roofless, clapped out sheet metal mess, but like they say, beauty is in the eye of the tool holder. Check out all the chrome, it's got the special bumper on it.
I love the special bumper. So this is the real deal Holyfield right here. My mind's just running at that time. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? Are we gonna chop it? You know, I'm open for anything at this point. Sweet, so we're building a huge old lead sled?
No, we're not going to build a car.
We're not building a car.
No, we're just
It
using
looks
parts
like a
of
car.
We're building something a little more like that.
Like, I'm not seeing it. The building?
It's sort of like a building, but it's more like a car. It's kind of an in-between.
I'm lost now, confused totally. This is the 5th project that I've got to work within, and every one of them has been so different. None of them have been anything alike except for the confusion and chaos. What are we doing here?
There's a thing from back in the day, 40s-ish, it's called a house car.
Like a motorhome before motorhomes?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. I've got a couple other pieces to the pie,
Oh, okay, okay.
a couple slices more to the puzzle.
Sweet. The plot thickens.
You know, we got a pool out here finally, and it's not a big pool, it's like 15-foot diameter, but my wife Jamie, she's saying she wants to have a pool cabana because the wind comes from every which way out here and stuff's blowing all over the property.
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
can
like,
imagine.
yeah, well, I can't just build a shed, you know? It's got to be something cool, something
Right.
that looks like, you know, what I do, something that matches the house, not some rickety old tin shack next to the
Yeah,
building.
something that fits your style.
And, you know, my style's cars, man, right? We call it the Brady Mansion because it looks like if the Bradys went on vacation.
Yes.
Not Tom Brady, but Marsha Brady. But that thing's massive.
Huge.
Like, there's no scenery if that's next to the house. It's just a big.
You can't see anything but that.
Right. But I'm thinking the smaller one is more appropriate. You know, it's like our pool's 15 foot, right? So
Right.
this thing is like 14 feet. It's a perfect block.
Okay.
There's nothing I love more than the look on my friends' faces when I'm throwing out all the nonsensical ideas that are spinning in my head. So I'm thinking it's gonna be like a Cabana car.
A Cabana car.
Cabana car, man, right? So it's like we take the front of the car and we put it on the front of the trailer. Yeah. Because I'm not just building a trailer.
Right.
It's gotta look like something cool. It doesn't have to run or go anywhere, but it's on 4 wheels and it steers.
Right, right. Okay. This thing's getting interesting.
Check it out in here, man, it's nice. Over the winter, Jamie just threw all the pool stuff in here, and I'm like, wait, this needs to be at the pool. It's like, look, it's already doing its job. It's like a perfect little hut. I'm not sure if you've seen it before, but I had this friend who had this car called the Super Bugger. It was like a little RV Volkswagen.
Right.
So it was like actually on a bug chassis. They had something like the size of this camper,
Okay.
mated to it, and then the little Volkswagen nose stuck off of it. Well, I want to do that with this car, so it's like a Super Dodger or something like that. I don't know. After checking out that Super Bugger, I knew someday I was never going to have one. But I was going to build something as cool as that.
I just can't wait. What ideas you have and...
I don't have any ideas. You just heard them all. That's it.
Oh, is that it?
And that's the entirety.
How about a full custom cabana?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I'm loving it.
You know, if cars had consciences, there's no way this thing even understands where the heck it's going. On its way to be a pool cabana? What? Are you ready, Captain?
Aye.
That's why I cut the roof off, man. You can drive that thing like a pirate ship.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Rancho Russello if we didn't have multiple towing options. Also, I can't let Alan have all the fun. The old ATV tow truck trick.
There we go.
Knock them doors off, and I'll start torching. And watch out for black widows.
Ooh, careful now.
We're all born with special gifts, talents, and vices right out of the womb. I've been the master of disaster ever since I could remember. Today's no different. This is just another example of my brain coming up with a cockamamie idea and jumping head on right into it. I mean, is there any other way? Not on my side of the tracks.
There you go. When I initially get that call from Ian and he says, hey man, I got a car I want to work on, and I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And right away, nerves start kicking in because Am I gonna be good enough to do it? Am I gonna be able to handle it? You know, and I'm sweating, like just sweating, trying to figure it out.
Let me get the broom. Look at all this. Car's like 50 pounds lighter, man. So see what I'm saying? Imagine that's the camper. Can you dig it?
I can dig it, dig it.
Looks better on the ground now. Look at that thing. This is where it all starts to come together. I see a little success, and I see a few issues. Yeah, so this engine's definitely a no-go, but the steering is intact, so that's what we need for
Right.
the... So let's just trim all this action out. See that? You got your steering, you got your body, and the rest, throw it back out in the pasture. So this is one small step for man, one giant step towards the creation of our ultimate Cabana car. On to the next.
All right, here we go.
With the Dodge broken down, it's time to bring in the other part of the equation and see where we're at. You know what, Alan?
What's that, bud?
You know, there's one thing I hadn't thought about.
Oh,
Square peg in a round hole trick. You know, there's nothing like having to do a bunch of work when you're getting ready to do a bunch of work. Let's try to cut the tongue off of this thing and just lay that trailer flat on the ground. Looks like we only need to shave off a few inches to get this shack in the shop. There's your problem right there. Trailer's broke.
ooh, barely. We're good. Nice. Just like to say in the lowrider world, it's almost low enough.
Almost low enough. This is the moment where all my mental theorizing comes home to roost. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the three-dimensional mock-up does not lie. Ooh, that's darn close, huh? I'm impressed with how the fenders fit the width of the trailer. Like, it looks like it should be a camper. Look at that.
No, it is because you've got the fenders that are bowed and then the top of the camper, which is round above, so it just all looks like it belongs.
Cabana car, baby. I'm definitely feeling it, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling it too.
You know, I want to keep it under this little muffin top detail, so it just might work, man. Pushing it in place, it does look like the fit up is good, but other views, it looks like two different worlds colliding. Because look at all this space here. We have no doors, you know? That's gonna look kind of weird. Like, this is the body, right? This is just the windshield, so no doors.
I try to stay as open-minded as possible, you know, but sometimes the ideas are a little bit stretched a little bit, you know, and we just have to figure out a way to lasso it in there and pull it in.
What if we stood the windshield up vertical? Cut this, cut the backside, and just went click.
Now we're talking my language.
That'll make the windshield considerably taller, but then maybe we just give it a chop top. Right?
Man, it gets better and better every day.
Right? Come on.
Oh, mad science 101 right here.
I mean, my only orders were to build a pool cabana, right? She didn't say don't chop the top.
I never heard
I didn't hear
don't
that.
chop the top.
They don't call it full custom for nothing. Off with its head. I want to save this dash for sure. That's going back in, but we're going to modify this whole cowl area.
Okay. See what's the business.
Open the door. Close the door.
There it is.
Open the door.
Works good.
Perfect, man. Why don't you get that Sawzall with the long blade? Just follow this right through, right below the drip rail.
Hey,
So I'm thinking, like right there,
oh, nice.
right?
Look at that. Looks like a school bus almost.
Yeah, like a school bus.
Class is in session.
This is the case with so many vehicles. You'll have like the consumer model, the public offering, but then you'd have specialty vehicles. And this looks like that 39 Dodge, but it's not a passenger car. It's like, wow, something's different in the top end of this. Oh, look at that. Oh, it just fell in.
It just fell in perfect. Wow, this action over here is looking good.
Right? So cool, man. It worked out very clean.
It is nice.
Our goal is to stay under 55. And here is 53.
To the top of the glass.
Yeah. Get rid of the drip rails. That's all just holding this in place. We split this peak here and we just fold it down. Then we fold that one down. Smash it, weld it, trim it, slap it on.
So you lost me at cut it, trim it.
I just saw the whole build through to the end, man. Let's paint this thing.
I'm learning fast.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Sometimes when you see it, you just gotta go for it. Kind of like dangling that carrot in front of a racehorse. Yeah, just pull down on that. Let's see what develops.
Yes.
It's the way our forefathers did it, right?
That's the way they did it. Wow, look at that.
The old sandwich trick.
Kind of neat. Looks like a sedan. It's exactly what you just said.
Right?
You
Come
said
on.
turn this, turn that, twist, and shout.
Ha-ha! Now we're talking.
Wow.
Once we cut the hole, then this inserts, and then you're in here driving.
Okay, so that's your driver's seat right there.
There's a hole as big as the car in the front wall of this camper.
Oh, nice. I like it. So you only go in through one door and come out through one door.
That's it.
Man, this thing is neat.
That's what I was looking for, you know, so that the forehead, the pompadour is coming out over the windshield. I thought we might have to chop the top, but that window's as big as the camper window. Look at that.
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
A guy like me can just chop tops all day long, right? It's like a challenge to not chop it sometimes. Think around that type of standard procedure. I'm gonna measure side to side, draw it out, take those windows out, and then cut a hole.
Cut away.
Let me do a little housekeeping. It's getting a little busy in here. Oh, wow, boogie board. Look at that. Looks like this camper can't wait for its future life. It's already stockpiling all the things the Cabana needs.
Got a floaty for me in there?
Ooh. Ready to sawzall that puppy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. In the hole.
Oh, yes.
Dude, that is so rad.
Just drop her down. They said I was a dreamer. They said I'd never amount to nothing.
Look at you now.
Look at me now. Look, you're looking at the kitchen sink. That's a win. It's a natural fit, man. I gotta say, I got this lucking out kind of streak in my favor. That thing fits and looks pretty darn good. Pardon me. You happen to have any Grey Poupon?
I love where this is going.
Fix me up a smoothie here. There's a rest stop coming up. I mean, I'm in the house. I'm also in a car, also in a Cabana. What more could a guy ask for? Muppet Mobile's got nothing on this, man.
No.
We're moving right along. For our next act, we will front clip the trailer. Hey man, front clipped everything else. You might as well do a travel trailer, right?
Might as well.
Alan's up for pretty much anything. He's the smooth character. None of my half-brained ideas have scared him off yet. The way the sheet metal is on the ground looks so good, and the roof just works with the cutout. Because we want it as low as possible, of course.
Oh, yeah, we definitely had to be scraping the ground.
The concept of front clipping the trailer means instead of 2 wheels, it's gonna have 4 wheels now. The fact that it steers properly is what sold the deal for me. Maybe take the Sawzall and just cut the tops off all those mounts. We'll just slice this bracket off right here, and then we'll just use the lower perches.
That sounds like a plan right there.
You got the steering end, I got the business end. And this is where it gets interesting. Both pieces have chassis under them. The trailer's a bit different than the car, but they're both strong enough to hold up their respective pieces. We just laid it out on the flat concrete floor, made our measurements so that the wheelbase is the same on each side. As long as they're mated in a way that's not gonna separate, it's a solid deal. It's full custom chassis jig right here. What more do you need than that?
Telling you.
Weld her up. Check it out. I was thinking about hot rods.
Love hot rods.
Look at that. How about that for the back? 8-inch wide.
Man, tell me they fit.
They fit that bolt pattern.
Man,
Mound.
his own will right here.
Come on. Let's jack it up. She's a wiggling. She's a jiggling. As much as I love these Ian alloy rims, I just don't think they're gonna be permanent. They're just placeholders for now. I don't think they really scream desert beach cabana. Just drop her down, see if she rolls.
Here we go. Whoa,
Perfect,
look
man.
at this thing. And she rose. Nice.
Still a little flexible, but I think we could lift it up now and finish the welding.
Yeah, should be pretty sturdy.
Right on. A mating like this is not supposed to happen. It's not an abomination, but it should never happen. Car chassis is about that fat. The trailer chassis is about that fat. So when they go together, we're gonna try to bring them all together and cross and reassemble and diagnose and do some more welding and, you know, just make them stick. That's secure. It's look nice. Sweet. To attach the car further to the camper, we got these steel plates, full custom brackets. I bet that added a lot of strength to the wall in general. Oh yeah, look,
Oh, wow.
back in action.
This thing rolling, seeing where it came from to now, rolling on its own.
That's super cool. I'm not crazy. You're the one that's crazy.
You're insane.
I gotta say, it's very satisfying. They both rolled in the door, now they both gonna roll out the door as soon as we make the door bigger. Yeah, the next challenge is gonna be to get all this to look like it belongs. You know, I got a couple plans for this area here. Let's work on getting rid of this blue. I love the rust color, but this blue, The look I'm going for, as with house cars, goes a hand-built thing. You know, somebody had a car and they had a trailer and they're like, I got a really bad idea. Hold my beer. But yeah, you can see already, it's starting to look better without the stark blue action. I think the last bit of structure is just getting these holes in the wall filled in. It looks like a car was stuffed into a trailer, right? We gotta make it look like it's supposed to be that way. There's a few ways to do this, you know? It's like, well, you could take the camper wall and like try to do that, but then it looks like it's all caved in, you know? So I'm thinking if this just hit the drip rail, come around the window like that.
Okay, I see. And then you would have your sheet metal matching
Right.
that.
And then we trim this back later.
Nice. Yeah, so all we have to do is just match the curve, bring it down, weld it up, roll that out like a tortilla.
So check this out. Because it's like, well, how do we make this transition work, right?
Right.
So I think we weld it here, right? Complete. And then we leave a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch lip hang out and then hammer it around.
And we have our own drip roll.
So it's like a hem, yeah. This was the piece we cut out where the car was. Now I just use that, put it under our little lip.
Man, that's genius. Make it look like it belongs.
This is just my typical process, you know, winging it, just one step at a time, fumble your way through it, hope it works out. I mean, if I knew how everything was gonna end up, I'd be buying lottery tickets instead of doing this stuff. This wall was repaired once, and you see now the mashup of different values, but I think we can work on that.
Oh yeah, using this material here, man, makes it look like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that looks cozy, man. It fit right in there. I'm digging it. I love the way that the window's sunken in, but it also kind of peeks back out of the camper, and the camper's a flat wall. See the element of the shadow going into the corners of the windshield?
Right.
I feel like if we could keep that shadow going across the entire top, it would help it.
Something like a sun visor.
Like a visor, yeah.
Like now it's got its natural sun
It's dark
visor.
and then it's light. If we could keep the whole thing kind of dark by coming from here and out.
Yeah, no, I like that it'll cover this. This thing's got a widow's peak like Dracula.
I don't think the car really needed a visor until I stepped back and looked at the join, the way that the V of the windshield was coming with the flat wall of the camper. The visor isn't as much a visor as it is sort of a shade canopy. It just helps that transition. It's the two pieces not matching up, all right? Fine, it's a shortcut through it. I admit it.
Full custom flex right here.
That's what I was hoping to see. That fleshed out perfectly, man. Let's put the dashboard in. Get that whole windshield area wrapped up. This is the most satisfying part of the project yet, you know, when it's like, bam, it's in place. That's gonna work. Anything could happen from this point, as long as those two pieces are joined.
And she steers, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta say, that's the weirdest pool cabana I've ever seen. Belongs in my backyard.
I don't think it'd be in anybody else's backyard, only yours, Ian.
Now that these are joined up, it is seriously the tale of two cities, right? On one side, you got pre-World War II. And then in the back, you got this kind of 60s, definitely got a little more lightheartedness to it. How are they gonna come together? There's something about just the look, you know, just getting those blue stripes off helped it a lot. But there's still this hard contrast, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it. I just don't know how you're gonna be able to tie in something from the late 30s, something to the 60s. Where's the medium?
So I was thinking like house car, right? And so many
Right.
of those, like they had shingle roofs on them, you know, wood siding, etc. So I'm like, well, shoot, this is, you know, a hot rod version of that. So why not a Woody? Why not like put wood siding down it?
Yeah, Woody totally screams rad.
It would be like, okay, now I see. It's more like a shack on the back instead of like, oh, we just took a 60s trailer.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. The Woody style was just so unique. You know, you either got it or you didn't get it.
But I think if we put like a band of wood from here down, that would really seal it, you know, with like some burring on the edges.
Man, I'm digging that.
And maybe picture frame the windows with the same material.
Oh, that would
Make it
look
look like a
super
little house,
nice.
right?
Exactly, and we can hide all the nasty behind that.
But check out this material I got. I think the tone will really bring this together.
Woo-wee!
Because I found that a while back for the doors, but the tone of that one was a little too bright.
Right, right. But for this, that material matches perfect.
Here at Honest Ian's Wood Siding Shop, we specialize in specializing. If you can envision it, we can enhance it. You're looking at this, you know, it's like, wow, 4 feet along this wall. That's pretty heavy, right?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
And I don't like the being vertical. I want it to be horizontal like you'd see on a Woody.
Oh, okay. Yes, definitely.
What do I know? Let's try it.
I got all my wood skills from Full Custom Garage.
That last wooden car we made was something. It's never a dull day in the shop, especially when we're going for something new. And that's pretty much every day.
Here it is, the man saw.
Yeah, it
This
is.
is a saw.
That thing's been with me for 30 years.
Man, this is like definitely before mumble rap.
My idea is to mock up one side of the camper, see how it looks. I really like the way that front wall cleaned up. Look at this.
Oh, wow. It's so cool. I love the way the wood just matches the rest, like perfect, perfect.
Surf shack vibe.
Very much so. Like I'm starting to get that feel of Noah's Ark almost.
We're gonna need one of everything. Some ideas just show their potential right away. And you know, when it seems like it's gonna work, I just let it happen. So you can see this row of screws. So I cut the groove so that they mount flush. Yeah, now it's looking like a shack on the back.
Looking pretty groovy.
It's the Dodger Lodger, baby.
From an outhouse to an in-house, just like that.
One thing I wasn't expecting was the quality of the dimension, you know, to have this flat sort of wood paneling and then the raised trim on it. It just looks more handmade. It really adds to it.
Just hope the wife loves it.
Oh, that's right. We're building it for her.
That's right.
I'm getting carried away. How could she not like this? Come on. If this car thing just doesn't work out, I think Alan and I could have a future in just manufacturing these Dodger Lodger cabanas. Could be a big thing. While I still have Alan here, I want to get this whole rig painted. It's going to be sitting next to the house, so this stark white looks like an appliance. Let's just coat the whole thing with this paint. I got 2 gallons. Just use it up.
Sweet.
Alan was a great asset once again. You know, we had a great time. I think we got some quality results, and I mean, this project has really come a long way in a short time.
You know, looking at this project, when you see a 39 Dodge that's all beat up and you look at this motorhome, you wouldn't ever think you could do anything with it. Anything's possible. You just gotta set your mind to it. I really don't have any idea what Ian's gonna do to finish it, but I know it'll be a topper, you know, it'll be the cherry on top, however direction he decides to go.
I'm stoked, man. Good work. That's why I called you in for this.
Yeah, it's looking great.
This thing's really coming to life, but I still got a couple more tricks up my sleeve. Good magician never reveals all his secrets. Me and Alan did our work on this. I'm stoked. I love this mellow, like cream off-white tone. You got all this very simple kind of shack-style trim work, brings it all the way to the ground, makes the car look even lower now. It looked really top-heavy because it was like really pinched in on the bottom, but now like all the weight is on the bottom of it. Helps that patina color flow through to the back. That's one piece to the puzzle that's coming together. Eliminating those blue stripes and getting this thing into a mellower tone really helps out the transition between the car and the trailer. The way the front came together, I'm pleased with the way the windshield and the little visor. And the sheet metal, we just used satin clear coat and spray cans right over that old patina, and it just made it look so much richer. I love the way that this trim comes through and goes right into the chrome trim on the car. It's kind of the shack on the back look. It's definitely got house car vibes. That's what happens with every project, right? It's like, ooh, yeah, it's coming together. Now I want to do A, B, C, D, right? Go on down the line. One of my favorite things about this old car were these fenders, you know, the bubble fenders. As I'm looking towards the back of it, I'm like, man, what else from that car can I use to kind of bring that cool color patina back so it's not so much car here, trailer here. When in doubt, look through your pile o' stuff. Words to live by. Man, these fenders are good. They got that same trim, these little details I love so much on the front. Unfortunately, this is the only collision damage this car had, but I think I can work with that. I know a guy. He's got an awesome set of tools. TV repairman, fix anything. I got plans for these sections. Wait till you see that episode. That's gonna be a different story. But these fenders are going on that shack. What could possibly go wrong? You're the kind of guy that would slice and dice the front of an old car and attach it to the camper. Like, why wouldn't you go back and do the same to the rear fenders? I mean, it's basic practicality, like buying some extra milk and butter when you're at the grocery store. I like this gas cap, even though it's not gonna have a gas tank. That is going in the shop. We'll delete that tail light. Come through. We have an imperfection in two areas. As per all the greatest car fabricators in the world, they will tell you, grab a big hammer and hit it. Who am I to disagree? And if you know me, you know I love a big hammer. Try to bop that back into shape. So you have a hard surface that's flat and then a soft impact. But I was trying to not mess with this patina by hitting it with a hard hammer. It would create a whole bunch of dimples, so there it is. I think that this thing, right here, tacked on the side of the camper. Whew, that's gonna be a tough call. Do you cut open the side of it, Ian? Do you? Looks like the front of the fender's gotta come down for sure. See, now the lines in the fender are horizontal with the trim work. I think we're onto something here. Let me cut open that rim. I might have to put a tire on this thing just to see. Inquiring minds may be asking, Ian, how are you gonna remove that tire when there's siding all over it? If you must know, I wasn't planning anything. I'm excited to confront this situation and work my way through it, or out of it, as it were. The tires I bought for this may not fit in that camper fender well either. Let's take that rim off and investigate, shall we? Everybody's got their own ideas about what looks right, and for me, I just always try to put the fattest tire possible in the back. These are 225 50 16s. So they're definitely not old school with that low profile, but they're pretty much gonna be hidden, and I wanted this thing to be low as possible. My prized Ian alloys may not make the final cut for this project, but they do sure come in handy for the mock-up. Put some weight on it. Let's see what that story is. Any rubbing? I don't hear no rubbing. I consider this a double thumbs up. Not only do they not rub, but it keeps the vehicle really low to the ground, and that's a win-win for me. Yeah, I just don't want to see any of this camper wall. That works, all in all. Now the question is, how do we attach it? First, I'm gonna trim this business off. We're gonna get that out of the way. We're gonna get that out of the way. We're gonna get that out of the way. My goal here is to keep the mounting clean and discreet, not to change the look of the fender, just like it's attached. The idea here is to make the simplest mounting possible. I'm just gonna screw this to the trailer, but I'm gonna try to hide them in the trim. I love that. That little hidden fastener worked perfect. Just takes a little bit of that car and puts it into the trailer. Now I want to take a little bit of the trailer or the camper, put it into the car. I got one more idea. It's another day in the shop, and it's another opportunity for aspiring shop inspectors to strut their stuff. I guess just like all the inspectors before him, he's under the vehicle. He seems to be checking everything out. Not responsive at all, just strictly business. One thing I like is that we're working towards the non-communicative species of shop inspectors. No hemming and hawing, no whining, no demands, not even critiques. This bird's actually pretty polite. We saw it the other day flying around, and all of a sudden it made its home in the shop, and it won't leave. I hate to use the term bird brain, but I think we need a little more mental horsepower to juggle the oddities that are happening at this shop on the daily. It's got kind of a one-track mind. I'm gonna take him back to that tree. Back to the project at hand, the Cabana. I was thinking about what else we could do to this. You know, less vehicle and more party barge. Doesn't have an engine in it, so I'm thinking, man, what the heck's going on with this front end? What could we do here? It's like, what goes best with poolside activities? Beverages and burgers, right? Come on. What about a little service station under the hood instead of an engine? Let's get started, shall we? Let's take a look at that. Every project has its own flavor, and I think the more you're in tune with it, the better everything turns out. Lucky for me, I love swimming, beverages, and burgers. I think this project supports all three. You know, you got this lip right here. That's at the same height as this. You put a brace in here and just make this entire thing a tabletop. For my next act, I'll install a piece of wood. The old propane barbecue grill. Served up many a meal over the decade. I think we could clean this unit up and put it back in service. And I found a few coolers I had laying around also. I think it's like the tale of the three bears. This one just seems a little too small. And there's this one. That's a party just waiting to happen. But I think that one's just a little too big. Now this one, number 3, I think it's got all the potential. Anybody can just stick a cooler on the hood of their car, right? No, I want this thing custom. It's got to be lowered a little of this, a little of that. I want that hood to look completely stock. I don't want it to look like anything's been changed until you open the pearly gates. It's time to modify. Let's cut a hole in this thing. You pull up, it's like, oh, wow, that's a neat old relic next to the pool. And you're like, but wait, there's more. Behind door number 1. door number 2, all around. Anybody in there? Not yet, but soon. This project in its entirety is a prime example of stuff that could have just as easily been sent off to the trash heap. The trailer wasn't really towable, it was kind of falling apart. Car had no future with the roof being hacked off. The barbecue grill, that thing was ready for the scrap pile. The guy doing it all, he's just about finished. So if you ever want to take the cooler out of there, you just got to take the whole car apart, see? It's science. Now we get to install that barbecue grill. Last but not least, one piece of good used vinyl flooring. This will be a nice little brightening under the hood, so to speak. Require a bit of finishing up, but that's the gig. Stick that hood on and see if it actually works. Like nothing's even in there. I think this is exactly what this project needed. You open it up, it looks finished, and it's got a usable aspect to it. What you got under the hood? 18 cold ones? Now, I was just thinking, I'm always collecting parts, and these hubcaps I've had forever. These are real deal J.C. Whitney catalog from who knows what year. From the start, these wheels were bugging me. I found these hubcaps, and I think that's the bridge. Look at that. Instant classic. It fits, because you got the wood tone, you got the deep, deep rust in the front, and that's kind of in the middle, old chrome. Now that this thing is really coming together, I want to bring in one more brain on the cause. My wife Jamie came in to give it the discerning eye.
It's looking amazing. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, check it out. Cooler.
Nice.
And then on this side, the barbecue. But that's the concept. Can you
I can
dig
clean
it?
that up, no problem. And I think it just really fits in with the 1930s vibe, early 40s vibe of the ranch. Like this would be something that maybe that they would have had here.
That was kind of the whole
Yeah.
thing. When you said you wanted a cabana, I was like, oh no, we're going farther.
Yeah.
Before it goes out, it's our last time in the shade, so if you're thinking it needs anything or...
Well, I was thinking, now that you put the color on it and I see it all together, maybe we could do the trim the same color as the windows in the house, that teal green that we did.
Yeah, I like that. We actually got a ton of that paint left over too, so...
Awesome.
Yeah. See, I was gonna go with something like this, but that
Oh,
kind
for
of...
the trim?
Well, it's sort of a trim. It's an embellishment.
What did you dream of this time?
I got an idea. But look at this. These two colors look good together, huh?
They do.
Yeah, I like that. You look at any camper anywhere coming down the freeway and it'll have this label on the front, right? And it's always describing something like adventurer or sun seeker, you know, that type of thing. Going for a sort of flow. I'm thinking more up in the center, down to the side, something that looks like a rainbow presentation on the approach.
Oh boy.
Story about Alan is his wife is actually a talented designer as well, and she cut out these stencils that are the perfect font that I'm looking for. It's the old sponge technique. Trying to create a graphic that doesn't look like it was just applied yesterday, like, ooh, a hard sticker design, right? Using this sponge, it just applies a little bit of color. In the end, it'll appear that the color fell off when in fact it was just never applied. This thing is almost ready for poolside chilling and grilling. Getting this thing out of the shop is where it really shines. It looks so cramped in there. Now out in the open space, you really get it. I gotta say, it's way, way different than I ever expected. I thought it was gonna be kind of like an old tin shack. This thing looks like it could be going down the road. Now with the bumper on, it looks so much lower in the front. Put on these mirrors. They came from my friend Bill's truck, one of his projects. Put some tail lights on it. I got these cool old red lights. They're almost like small spotlights, but they're red tinted. It looks as if it could drive somewhere. Looks like it was put away somewhere, cared for, but definitely not a new build. Love the green trim around the windows. Strong work. This graphic, I just got away with it. I was unsure as to how to do that, but the sponge technique, it worked out. It looks like an old faded sign. I thought, with all my builds, I want to go farther. And hey, maybe as a traveler, you may want to go farther as well. Like most of my projects, you know, I used what I had, gathered a few other things, whipped it into a frenzy, and I came out on top. Whew. You know, it could have been this tin shack over here, but now it really looks like something that might go down the road. And it's only gone about 200 yards. Who knows? It might go farther than it's been. It's almost Cabana time. Let's hitch it up. As they say, it's go time or tow time. It's almost tea time. Let's get in the backyard. It feels like it could have been here. You know, when you see the old ranch trucks that are in the back that really were here, this thing could be right beside them and you wouldn't think any different. You'd be like, what kind of stinking hippies were in this place anyway? Pool party is what this is all led up to. As you may or may not know, it's all about the accessories. One can never have too many pool floats. Love it. Cabana, whatever. I'm talking about the pool. That's refreshing. I think the biggest challenge in this was taking these two pieces that definitely don't belong together and make them cohesive. Aged down the trailer a little bit and brightened up the old car a little bit. I think it came together pretty convincingly. I'm very satisfied. The one regret, the pool cabana is not going to hold the jet ski I have planned for the pool, but we'll figure that out in due time. This is just the first chapter in a lifelong story. Another project nailed, a little weirdness spread throughout the neighborhood. I'm enjoying it already. I got a call from my friend Bill. He asked me to come by and check out some new potential.
Got this project on a trade.
You trade in vehicles?
Yeah.
Unheard of. There's one you don't see every day.
There she blows. 65.6.
65 Corvair. Interesting. I've never worked on one. I don't know anything about them.
Wow. I'm busting new ground if you haven't ever worked on one.
This thing is straight, man. This isn't what I was expecting. You never know what's going to turn up in Bill's driveway, but Corvair, it's kind of an odd duck. If you're talking odd ducks, you just found one to work on it.
I love the body style. It's very cool looking.
It is.
Hardtop. I have a nice young man here that's been eyeballing this ever since it came on the property. He works for me, and I'd love for him to have that. He'll always remember.
19-year-old kid pulling into college like this, talk about a chick magnet. Forget about it.
Yeah.
The fact that Bill really just wants to share his passion and knowledge for cars, you know, with pretty much anybody he can get a hold of and bend their ear a little, that's a message I can get behind. This thing looks real clean, man. What do you want to do to it?
That's my question to you. What do you got in mind? Spin them wheels.
Pretty funky styling, man. It's definitely, it's like, is it a muscle car? No, it's too small, but it's got kind of like the hips, Impala, Camaro,
Yeah.
sort of like that. It almost makes me feel like the Ghia influence, like the Carmen Ghia and the VW stuff, where it was kind of a different take on that German styling. This has like a kind of an Italian feeling to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Typical public opinion, the Corvair isn't like, you know, the prom queen. It's not the stellar best car in the universe for whatever reason. It's got opportunity in pretty much any direction. It's just old. Kind of like,
Here I am.
it's kind of like us.
I know something about getting old.
A little rough around the edges, but got good bones.
It's got some bones.
Got dual exhaust.
2 carburetors, Mr. Russell.
Wow, dual carb, 6-cylinder. You're always coming up with these things, man. My cars usually just look like a haunted house inside. This thing is clean. You know, growing up, some kids are into baseball cards, you know, wheeling and dealing. Bill's a lot like that, but with cars. He's always got something coming or going. That's my kind of hobby. Got a cool sound. It's kind of VW, but it's got a thump. The interesting thing about this car is the styling is pretty dead on. You know, my first go-to thing is chop the top, and I love the shape and the angle of all the glass. has very little pillar structure supporting the roof. It's pretty low profile as it is. I don't think it needs a chop at all. Feels a little like VW with the engine in the back and the valve lifter noise, but it's got like power right now. It's cool. So looking around at it, I see a few things right away that I think I can enhance. You know me. You get my unicycle and rubber chickens, and the show will begin. The first thing I always look at is like what looks like stuck on, you know, like when the designers made their first clay model of the car, right? It's like it didn't have any accessories, it was just the line and the shape. You know, for me, it seems like these taillights, I feel a little bit weird about them. You know, you're looking at the back of the car, you got rectangle band, underlining, and then two more rectangular bands. And then you just got 4 dots stuck on there. That bugs me. I think I want to start with the tail end, sir. I got a couple ideas. As they say, dig a hole and find your way through it, right?
You used to scare me, but I'm over that. You don't scare me anymore. Like you told me, it's only metal.
Bill and I have been around each other for so long that at this point he is unfazed by my caveman approach. I know exactly the relative degree of crazy he's looking for, so it's not going to be like super far out stuff you might see with another unnamed client. Now what do we do?
Dots needed.
Got 2 big holes in the car. You know Victor, my buddy Victor, he's got all the taillights at his house.
Oh, yeah.
We've been through a couple projects, and one of them even went complete through to paint and still had no taillights, so I'm trying to avoid that for you. Victor and I went on this lowrider adventure with this classic Riviera that he got from my friend Jack. We did a ton of custom work on this, and it was looking really good until Victor got stuck on the taillights.
Let me just see the other taillights on the back before I could make a decision on if we're gonna take Jack's off or not.
And the selection process didn't stop there. Victor went on a shopping spree, seemingly buying every taillight you could ever conceive. It almost started to look like a taillight museum in his shop.
Now I'm not confused, but I'm not sure what I want to do. I don't want to say I told you so, but why didn't you leave Jack's freaking lights alone? It would have been done.
I just couldn't stand looking at it, man, you know? And as they say, the customer is always right, no matter what kind of twisted rabbit hole it leads us down. He's got a lot of lights over there. Some of the ones he didn't use, I think might fit this perfect. I felt a disturbance in the force, and sure enough, here comes an SOS signal from Mr. Spaceship himself. All right, yes. Wow, yeah, just getting the filler on there changes everything, man.
The Soto, the Chrysler, the Ford, it's like, come on now. It was meant to be.
This whole idea began when Victor had this concept to build this 50s-styled futuristic show car, and then the junkyard search. We started out with a DeSoto, a front grille from some other car, fenders and a hood from 50-something Ford, and of course a Crown Vic police car to put it all on top of. Started out as a real hodgepodge.
Check this out. As you walk over here, look at this. You got this old Chrysler DeSoto line, then you got these round fenders, and then the hood's this big old bubble.
I know, and it just goes right to the headlights. It's super interesting.
It flows. Look at this thing.
I gotta agree with Victor. You know, as much stuff as we jammed together on this project, the lines work. In fact, the wheelbase works, the fins really work. It's a pretty slick setup. I feel the rims are perfect, you know? Something about them, they're just like artillery rims, right? But they're cast.
Yes, and you notice these are polished aluminum.
A lot of people rely on proven templates to complete their projects, but Victor's a man who's willing to take risks, and I like that. Yes, the back end came out perfect. Yeah, when you told me you were putting a caddy bumper on the back, I'm like, what? So those aren't taillights anymore, that's the exhaust.
That's
Those are
exhaust.
the thrusters.
And I just put the cover on it so you could see, but it needs a little bit more depth, so I'm gonna sink that in. And there's gonna be some lights, you know me, with something's gotta twinkle somewhere.
Right. Looks darn close to being finished. What else did you want to change?
Well, bringing that up,
Yeah.
check this out over here. It's all minor. This is just minor.
It's all minor. Yeah. One loose end we still have is the headlight area. Victor always gets stuck on one thing. The headlights are that issue on this project. You could see the steam starting to come out of his ears. He's getting stuck.
The back's done now, the front's gotta blend with the back. So what does this remind you of, right?
Yeah, I love the angle like that. It makes it look really aggressive. And then, we could put anything over the top. I could either blow a bubble for it or maybe some kind of a mesh, who knows, but that works. In Victor's defense, this is a pretty tough area to figure out. Whatever this grille shape is did not belong with those Ford fenders, so hopefully he doesn't run into the same situation with decision making as he's done with the taillights in the past. Of course, Victor's getting started on the interior, but there's a few unfinished pieces. As you remember, it had a roof. The rear window is now the front window. So now with the back window being in the front, it's got nothing surrounding or supporting it, so it still needs that.
I had two options on this, Ian. One option, continue this tubing all the way across, or I do something in a poster to match upholstery.
I always saw it with a round tube over the top and then maybe like dingle balls just set across the whole thing.
No, I already have that on the last car I built. Oh no, on my first car, Evolution, I got rid of the dingle ball.
I see. Victor knows I'm a fan of the absurdity. Him, not so much. He's not going for that joke. That's something from Victor's past, the early 1970s, the Cheech and Chong style. I think he's just evolved from that.
The interior, I got some guy stitching some crazy stuff with some crazy color. It's gotta look like a spaceship. It's gotta have different colors. It's gotta have line, but then it's gonna be subtle.
Right, just like the rest of your cars.
Right.
The old wild, subtle spaceship trick. Works every time. No matter how many of these crazy projects I do, it's always the thrill of the process that gets me satisfied. It's this part of the game where it really starts to come together.
You take care of this, I'll get the interior finished, and then we figure the front end, and I'm a couple weeks to be completed. We're that close.
My plan to finish off this windshield detail is to use a piece of round tube that'll make it very strong. You can bodywork it, paint it, upholster it, whatever. End result being, if you get out of this car, you're naturally going to want to grab the top of that windshield. You don't want to break the glass. And you see that matches that dimension perfectly. So I'll just make pie cuts through here. I'll bring that contour down, finish it off, bodywork it, install the dingle balls. You're ready to go.
Ready.
Yep. Using the grinder and putting the multiple slices in, it's allowing it to curve without having any kind of a manual bender. So trickiest part of this whole thing is where the curves become very tight. No amount of this slicing will do. You're just gonna have to piece it in separate shapes and then bodywork it in the end. We're getting really close to wrapping this project, and I think I'm gonna start practicing my moonwalk. Once again, a visit to Victor's wildly enhanced taillight emporium does not disappoint. Out of all the stuff he had there, the minute I looked at these two, I knew we had potential. Check this out. Their 67 Camaro. Look at that. I like how it really pops some chrome into the car too. This being the base model, I was thinking, shine it up, give it a little more bling, because it is just very red at the moment. You got these vents in these little rectangle shapes, top and bottom. Now the taillights will be in this little rectangle shape, I think. If you know me, you know I like to mix things up, but sometimes keeping it in the family is just the right trick. I think a little Chevy in this Chevy will make it work. That being said, this doesn't look like such a simple install. We're up to a little resistance as usual. So we got a very straight taillight bezel. But these panels, look at the curvature in that. From point A to the top of the hill, right? Therein lies the issue. Bill's a guy who's got a lot of stuff. It's easy to use the term hoarder, but I would consider him more of a consummate collector. Read that. Who needs an advertisement after reading that yardstick? If you look at the yardstick and the way the flatness comes across, look how deep into the car body it is over there. That's pretty substantial. And how does one remedy that? Substantialness. If I was to just make a flat panel and bolt these on, it's gonna look cross-eyed. These are gonna appear to be like a V shape. I want these to be just like the way the trunk lid comes across. I want this to be perfectly straight. So I gotta do a little whamma jamma on this and see if it works out. I don't know where I heard the story, but the Camaro apparently had some influence from the Corvair or versa versa with the concepts. I don't know anybody who has a problem with the Camaro in general, right? It's kind of a hit. So looking at the taillight issue, you know, hey, maybe put a little of that hit mentality into the odd duck will bring it up a notch. I got 2 words. One of the more common ways to deal with this depth difference is by Frenching. You'll see Frenched antennas, French taillights, French license plates. I don't know who the French dude was that invented it, but it stuck. And it wasn't Roussel. Maybe I want to French this whole thing. The idea of Frenching something in was purely like a custom trick. You know, it just made it appear different than stock. It also adds the ability to kind of make something fit where it may not otherwise. Bill's never-ending well of scrap metal should afford us some round stock. So I'll frame these taillights out in this round stock. So we gotta pull a nice radius bend around that. I think that'll do it. Ring-a-ding-dang. And now for my next circus act, fire. Stainless steel, so it's a little bit different when you heat it. Really holds the heat, as opposed to, say, aluminum, which spreads the heat out. Red hot, stick it in there. There it is. That will sit outside that just by about that much. Cool. So let's do this 8 times. Building the frame that surrounds the taillight is just the first part of the process. After that, we'll build the sheet metal surround that'll sink it into the panel. Come a long way from dunking them in the toilet. We're all civilized now. All that this is representing is that this is the car and it surrounds the new taillight trim. I'm not gonna make both at the same time because if it don't look right, I'm only half wrong. As the old saying goes, you know, a broken clock is still right twice a day. But that's not the case with these taillights. If it don't look right, no amount of squinting is gonna make it appear correct. What I think we're gonna have to do is bend this bezel to meet the body and then sink it back. Part of the way I build cars is just by trying something and adapting. I don't always know what I'm doing. So it's kind of a dance. There it is. Aha! This looks really good now. Totally fits in there. I'm just gonna tack it in and figure out how I'm actually gonna mount the housing. I think for simplicity's sake, I can go ahead and mount this right to whatever I'm creating and just let this bezel hang off this. It's got 2, 4, 6 big old screws. All in all, it looks like a whole lot of screwing around. Let's just set up this generic piece that will receive that. The car is surrounding this bezel at this point there, and then this is the back wall of the housing, but we need a wall around here to tie it all together. Setting in lights like this, you gotta think sort of inverse. You gotta think of it inside out. They're not being applied to the surface, so everything is happening behind the scenes, and you gotta build it in that capacity. Just when you thought you were safe, the old jig strikes again. No metal scraps get left behind in this operation. It's gonna come in like so, nice 90-degree bend. The bottom line here is it's just gotta look right. There's no other rule. I like it sunk way in like that, but hey, that's just me. So that kind of gives it the half and half right there. The simplest way to put it is kind of shadow play. You got this chrome element sunk inside what's gonna be a painted surface, so you don't want the chrome to seem buried, but you don't want it to seem like it's popping out of the car in an untasteful way, I guess. So yeah, there's a sweet spot in there. There's still a lot more welding to do, but it's all about proof and concept, right? So by pushing this in just a little bit, I think it sells the deeper sink on the outward curved part. And my eye doesn't seem to mind that that just pops out. It filled that whole back panel out just perfect. Pretty neat. French fries, French bread, French taillights. We made some progress on the back, but we still got 3 more sides to this story. On to the next. Now I'm back to work on the Corvair. I got into the shop early to get those taillights tidied up before Bill comes in. After I sorted out all the issues on the passenger side, the other side came out easy breezy. Just as I'm finishing up, here comes Mr. Bill on his trusty green steed.
Hi, Ian.
We got a little taillight swap finished up for you. Check this out.
Look at that. No more little dots. What a beautiful job.
Another stroke of luck.
That's very cool. Very, very cool.
I almost ran out of room. Like, this fabrication took up the height of that entire back panel. But width-wise, I mean, I feel like it's an improvement.
Well, it makes the back end of the car.
Yeah, for
No
sure.
question. I don't know what else you would do to the back to improve this car. That does it.
That's one thing I think Bill really responded to. When you see the depth, when you see the way it works, I think he's really satisfied with that. Try not to overcomplicate anything on this. I want it to look pretty much like a Corvair, just a little slicker. It's like the one thing that I wouldn't want to see, you know, is the door handles. It's, you know, people shave them all the time, right? Just cleans it up. I had these cool push button door handles. They're from an early Lincoln Zephyr style. All you'll see is that when you push the button.
I love that it's going to match the key,
You got
the
two
roundness.
Little, two little blips on there. The idea is less is more, right?
I'm seeing this. Sometimes when you go off, I go, what's he going to do? This I see.
I'm just gonna work from the back and just gonna spin
Working your
around.
way around.
Yeah, see what else it needs. Looks like Bill and I are on the same page. Now all I gotta do is make it happen. Every good fabrication story starts with a little disassembly. I just feel like the door handles on this Corvair, production-wise, look like add-ons. The French taillights in the back, very slick, very smooth, you know? Side profile of the car, you don't want anything sticking off of that, so I think that the push-button door openers are the key. Because there's a little tab in there. When you push the button, it pushes the button. Can you dig it? They came with this little square plate. That's your door right there. That's pretty clean, eh? It's kind of old-fashioned, but it's also kind of futuristic. My plan here is to center the push button right on top of the interior door mechanism. You know, I want to maximize the leverage to make it the easiest push on the button to open the door possible. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, you got access. Might as well take advantage of it. Oh yeah, much better. That makes it super simple, but you can see the door is curved and this ain't. Flush mount. What's not to like about that? Well, I don't want to say that was easy, but yeah, that looks good. I don't want to warp this door, so I'm going to hop on the other side. You saw me fussing around with that door handle on the other side, reaching up into the car body, but I've come up with a different way of removing door handles. Hi-ya! See? Works just as efficiently. I was working at a custom shop in Japan once, and I was over there fussing with the door handles. The sensei came over, changed my world. Next thing, so we don't look like we have a pimple on our door, and take this little raised thing off, replace it with flat steel. Round peg, round hole. Push the button, open the door. Look at that. Streamlined. You just gained 4 horsepower with that installation. But seriously though, look at the side. It's just slippery now. There's no big refrigerator handle on there. It doesn't even look like it was customized, it's just there. If you didn't know otherwise, it wouldn't make a statement. So we got the taillights, check. Door handles, looking good. Gotta do something up front. And I love the bumper, don't get me wrong, I'm not changing that. But It just needs something to make your eyes like more flat when you look at it. Nothing seals the deal like the full 360. Mr. Cacho called me back out to the spaceport. Just another day in paradise. Oh boy, what's this about?
It's cool, isn't it?
It's neat, yeah.
It's a Kaiser Manhattan.
Yeah, it is. As far as Victor's last-minute enhancements go, we could be in big trouble. Walking in and seeing a whole car as we're approaching the finish line, it could get thick.
It's a donor car.
A donor car? I thought you were like in primer, just about ready to paint. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, sound the alarm. We're coming in on a crash landing.
I seen this car and I knew we had to use a couple parts off of this thing. Look at it. This will solve every problem we've ever had.
So that's your motto, as usual. Nothing fixes cars like more cars, right? I must say, Victor's come to the right place. If there's anyone with special vision that can see the beauty where others might not, it's you-know-who.
Ta-da, look at the front end of that thing.
Yeesh.
More than anything, look at that. Look at this. When I seen this, I said, Ian, gonna be so happy, he's gonna be jumping for joy.
You just
Look
wanted to
at
buy
that.
another car. Don't try to play this with me. You saw this and you had to have it. Now you're trying to make excuses.
I'm trying to solve the problem with the headlights. I just solved it.
So you bought a car for a headlight.
Yes.
Typical Victor Cacho. Every time. We can do this, we can do that, anything. Just needs a little of this, a little of that. We're gonna take some of this, put it over there. Every time.
Remember, I wanted a bezel.
Yeah.
I found you the bezel, and I found you the fender. That's like the earrings on a woman right there. Look at that.
I can't argue that point.
We put those on there, and then I could paint it. So I can't paint it till you enhance my headlights.
I see what you're saying. I dig that. I really like that waffle pattern under the headlights too, for sure. I was just a little bit startled at first. I was like, don't tell me you want to put a roof on it now, right? Like, what's that about? In all seriousness, I gotta say, Victor is an incredible parts sourcer. He always comes up with the right stuff in the nick of time. I just hope I don't keel over from a heart attack. One of these surprise enhancements might just do me in. I see the potential. I mean, we got 2 big holes in that car, and I think that could fill them.
The more I look at it, the more I like other parts of that car.
And that is my cue to keep the train moving down the line. We might need some of those horse blinders to keep this enhancement monster on track.
Check this out. You want to see something cool? We primered it so you could see it all as one piece, not Frankenstein. Look at that thing.
Oh yes, this is the first layer of icing on the cake. This is where it really starts to shine, you know? One color in primer, you really get the feeling of the dimension of this vehicle.
You know, we built a couple cars together. This is the coolest one we've ever done, and I thought the boat was cool.
Yeah, the boat was something.
The only missing link was the headlight.
Good call. Sounds like Victor settled on a headlight choice in the nick of time. Seems like we're just about 1 step away from paint.
Yeah, let me get the side view. On the side view's pretty crazy too, the way you have it. Watch, look at it, I'll hold it for you. I mean, look at that, huh?
Way better.
Right, I mean, on the side.
And then you
it's
just take that bulb,
and
rotate
straighten
it.
out. Yep.
I'm really surprised how well this came together. I was having a big problem with the openings in the fender because it was that kind of Batmobile cavern-looking headlight. The Kaiser choice softens it right up.
All right, that's it then. So what's the problem?
What's the problem? What are you gonna do with the rest of the car now?
Hey, now I got another project. Thank you.
I saw right through that from the start.
We brought this car from Reno, and all I needed was this. You're kidding me,
You could have
right?
put that in your carry-on bag for the commuter flight, man.
Hey, what are you doing next week?
I'm going to Disneyland. It's not time to celebrate just yet. I gotta come up with a way to make these headlights look like they belong there, not like we just dragged some car all the way out of Nevada and stuck it on the front of this concoction.
I expected like total deconstruction. I said, I'm gonna get Ian back. And it fits right in.
Pressure fit. I like it.
If the car didn't like it, I don't know what that means.
That's like
Maybe
when
we need a DeSoto or
That's like when I feed my dog a piece of apple. That's exactly what happens. It just pops right back out. The number one challenge with putting these different headlights in place is just the general shape that we created with the fenders to begin with. I kind of see a way through it, but there ain't nothing to it but to do it. These cans are welded in solid now. I'm just gonna patch the sides of the fender. Boom.
That's ridiculous. I try to challenge you, and you come in and make it like boop, 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 done. What's that all about? I even went out to bring a stupid car in from another state.
I don't have a crystal ball, but something tells me we're gonna be seeing more of this geyser in the future. I always wonder what Victor's gonna do with the paint and interior. One of Victor's upholstery guys, Roger, super talented guy, created the entire back seat, upholstery, the whole deal. They came up with some really unique stitching design. It's looking pretty impressive.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Wow.
That's like crazy.
We are T-minus a few days from our moon launch at the Cacho Customs residence. I think we should all prepare for liftoff. We're back at Bill's place, and he's been making some progress on the Corvair.
I love what you've done. The subtlety came out again.
That's my middle name, sir. Don't wear it out.
No, I've seen the other side of you. It's going to be Eli's car, of course. I had he and Martine do a little bit of the body work.
Yeah, no, I like the way they're going about it, too.
It's coming along. Kind of anxious to see what else you've got up your sleeves.
Well, now that you mention it, you know, I'm not just gonna let it go with two little projects, right? We got the back done, did the door handles, so now I'm thinking a little bit about the front.
That'll be interesting, whatever you do.
I found this thing years ago. This was actually like a billet grill for a Camaro, but it got me thinking about the front of the car. Maybe a little more horizontal action on the front. I think I sold the taillight deal because the car had taillights. I sold the door handle deal because the car had door handles. It has no grill in the front, so he's just like, Something about this just seems very bland. I love the headlights, and what if we could sort of get that to work? I mean, obviously just hanging it on the front like there, it's not the end result. I'm gonna take some duct tape and some paper clips and really fasten that thing. I mean, I see you got the baling wire right there. All I need is that and a sledgehammer, we're good to go.
It's over there.
Yeah, perfect. As they always say, like if you can't convince them with the concept, just thrill them with the comedy. I don't mind parting with this. If you're cool with the idea, I'll just cut this up and see what I can do with it.
I'm not sure about the duct tape and the paper clips.
I mean, when have I led you astray before? This is a new technique. I'm just gonna strap this baby on there.
I have faith. You'll make it work.
Seems like I'm in really good graces at this point. I haven't ruined any of his projects yet, so he's like, all right, I'll give you this one, carry on. I wanna get rid of all these tabs. We're definitely not gonna be able to utilize those in any way, so let me cut them off, number one. And then the angle of it does not match the hood. About 1 inch out on each side. I just hate to kink or crease these. These are not solid material, these are tubes. Let's see what that do. It's not bending at all. Eek. It's time to unleash the fury. The old double table trick. Working in someone else's shop, you gotta be ready to improvise or compromise as it may be, but the hand technique is not doing it. Told you. Mr. Bill did not see that one coming, I guarantee it. At first thought I was thinking about taking this trim off, but the fact that it's got the key in there, I don't want to mess with that. Everything works perfect. Let's save that for somewhere else on the car. Yeah, the challenge here is to try to make it look like it belongs. It's got to work with this original trim and with the bumper, so it's got to find a happy medium space. I guess I'm just gonna start nipping away at these bars and just kind of bring it into position. Yeah, it's interesting because that Falcon that's up on the lift, that's exactly the look I'm trying to achieve, you know, these horizontal bars. But the Corvair panel, it's actually tilted way back. You know, you hear the term the flying V, right? So this flat horizontal grill bar is starting to look like that. That's not what I want. So I'm gonna cut this right down the middle. What I'm trying to follow is this. So this has got to slide in and meet up with that. Once the cut's been made, the challenge is bringing these into position, because parallel surface like this becomes like that. So you got the open bottom, so you got to trim it together. Now it's cut in half, it's all trimmed out. It's getting fit in a way that the good Lord never intended, nor any designer at General Motors. Once I got the center pretty dialed in, you know, I'm looking towards the headlight side of things, and of course, that support bracket is right in the way. I think I'm gonna move that in. It's not welded, it's all riveted together, so I knew if I was gonna change it, I could just drill out the rivets and move it around. All right, now we have 2 pieces, narrowed, ready for action. Rivets. They're not just for breakfast anymore. Now is where the cuts really start to count. In other words, it's time to not mess it up. But just so I have a little mirror action to what I'm about to do on the next side, I'm gonna pin this in place. It's like all finished work. What you see is what you see. There ain't no lying, there ain't no hiding. What you get is what you get. Yeah, so I mean, looking at the Falcon and looking at the Corvair, they could be friends. I think that grill bar, really, you know, now it looks like a classic American car. I'm happy about it. I mean, you do the Corvair before and after. I think I know which one I'd pick. All in all, you know, it's kind of a weird decision to put a grill on the front of an air-cooled car, but I'm looking at it more as trim work. There's just a few finishing details before I do put it in place permanently. Not happy with the red paint behind it, though. It's still kind of bugging me. You know, just my 2 cents. I can't leave anything alone. Back at Bill's, and this Corvair has undergone some changes.
Mr. Russell,
Hey, hey. Hey, Eli.
And how's it going?
Right on, man.
what do you think?
Looks great. Way better than that scabby red paint.
Oh yeah, I love the primer. It looks awesome.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love what you did with the grill.
Thanks, man. Looking at it from 100 yards away, man, like you don't even recognize it as a Corvair.
Exactly.
The grill changes it like a lot.
Exactly.
Finished up this front grill design. I put this black backing plate, some metal behind the chrome bars. Just makes it look like every other grill. You know, you have this opening that the radiator's in. This car doesn't have that, so the black background, it kind of makes the stainless or chrome trim pop a little better.
Gives it character.
Yeah, I agree. I could tell right away that Eli's stoked on this thing. You know, it's all prep until finally it's there, and he's like that shining face. What got you interested in this? Just seeing it and you liked it, or?
Well, I just love the body style. You know, it caught my eye. You know, it's got the engine in the back that's pretty unique. It's just a sweet looking little small car, you know?
You can see just the process, it's super satisfying. That's what got me hooked. It's like as soon as you see you made something, just kind of like, wow, I could do more.
You get to work on something and, you know, see what you've done. Oh yeah, I've definitely learned a lot on this car.
Nice. It's the 3 T's, man.
There.
Things take time. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, Martine and Eli are a pretty good team.
Eli and Martine, they followed up where I left off. They did the body work and got it into primer. Eli's just taken hints and guidance from Martine, who's more experienced, and I've always been a huge advocate of teaching and learning. And I've learned pretty much by myself, by making mistakes. To have a good guidance is critical. I think they did a good job. It looks nice. You guys did it. It looks good.
Thanks.
It's one of my favorite things about Bill. He's such a giver, and this opportunity he's giving Eli with this vehicle. Come on into my shop. Here's a car. Learn this. I mean, top-notch stuff. Overall, I'm happy with the changes I made. You know, I did exercise some restraint. I think the back is my favorite part. Really made that car look a lot wider. Right on, man. Yeah, the license plate light even works.
Yeah.
I like it, dude.
Just, there's nothing that would fit better.
I think the big takeaway for this project is, you know, I tend to go full custom, right? But really, for the average person or a young dude with a little bit of free time, you know, you could pull off some stuff pretty quickly and really make the car stand apart from the rest.
I'm really excited to get this thing on the road.
Heck yeah, man. You're natural. Fits you. Got a little surprise for you, man. This one seat deal's been bugging me. My buddy Tom, he had a Corvair, and it had all the seats.
Wow, that's
Yeah, dude.
awesome. Are those original seats?
Oh yeah, 100%. Same
Awesome.
year too, 1966.
Wow, what a find. Everything you need, Eli.
Slightly used, and they're free. There's one big thing Bill and I have in common, and that's just knowing where the parts are, keeping a mental record. So Bill got this car somehow knowing a guy, and I got the interior somehow knowing a guy.
It's
That's the look, right?
awesome.
I pulled the door panels out. He's got a new dashboard cover, and then all the seats, so you're back in action.
Awesome, that's sweet. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Nice job, Ian. Thank you very much.
I'll be back. Next time, let's do something a little bit weirder. This was an easy one.
Too easy.
Yeah. Now that we've got him started on it, dude, look up sectioning, look up chop tops. I mean, we could put this on hydraulics. Primo. Primo. It just brings back memories, you know, a kid in his custom first car about 100 or so years ago that looked just like me. All smiles in a primer gray car. Been juggling 2 projects at this point, and my buddy Victor hit me up. He said, hey, come out to this car show. I got something for you to see. Gotta say, I miss this neighborhood, man. We don't have car culture like this out in the middle of the desert,
Just a Saturday afternoon,
right? Victor did it again. I'm kind of knocked out. I mean, here's the car with all the details attended to, and now we're cruising. Southern California is like the mecca for custom cars. I mean, it's proven. You got VWs, you got lowriders, you got lifted trucks, you got some Harleys, all kinds of stuff. I mean, people are just super into this culture.
This is what it's all about. This is where I get my inspiration. You got some incredible stuff since the kid just starting out, getting ideas, scraping his money up to do what he has to do. Look at the wheels
Yeah,
on that
I
thing
like
just
that.
turn back and forth.
That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the problem.
This is exactly where it's at for Victor, you know, behind the wheel, checking out other people's rides, and he's just like, hey, look at that, we gotta do one of those. I don't know what to say about it. He's out of control, man. We don't have a parking spot, man. What are we gonna do about this? I guess we gotta go home. This show is put on by Victor's nephew, Vince. He's a part owner of this cruiser brand. This is their first car show. Pretty big turnout for a couple of kids from Silmar.
So what do you think, Ian?
I can't believe it. Wow, that's all I could say. I love the paint. Look at the fin. Look at the way the purple pops off of over the curve. It's so good.
So I said, I can't go wrong with white. And then I had a few enhancements. Then this is what happened.
I love the simple graphics. And man, you know, the last minute clutch decision, you know, to buy a car for the headlights worked out perfect.
Oh yeah, no, that hurt me. I still haven't told my wife yet.
Right? I didn't know where we were going when we picked that car in the desert, but it's a pretty good turnaround. Out of all the comments, the most asked question that I'm hearing is, what is it?
Is that an Imperial?
It's DeSoto, Kaiser, Cadillac.
It's all 3 of them.
It was a 60 Chrysler with a 60 Cadillac, a 48 Kaiser.
A lot of stuff. As you know, it's not a simple answer.
DeSoto, Kaiser, Cadillac, Chrysler, Kaiser, 53 Ford station wagon. And underneath that is a cop car Interceptor.
The whole thing for me is it's full custom, right? It's a mismatch of this and that and a little sprinkle of something else.
It's a Caddy, DeSoto, Chrysler, Ford. Don't ask what it is because we don't know.
We're trying to figure it out. It's pretty Spaceship-y. You know, the headlights that he chose, the grille.
And the thing is, putting the back window in the front, I said, that's ridiculous, but look at what it did.
It just looks so low with the windshield all laid down like that. I'm really impressed on the rear view of this car. I was having trouble with the Cadillac bumper, just chrome the center and bodywork right up to the now exhaust ports. I love it.
Of course, I had to keep the same theme all the way through. Simplicity, right?
Yeah, all that stitch work and the perforated vinyl. You never even know it was a police car underneath. A lot of behind the scenes help with this one. Roger nailed these seats and door panels. Hector, he's pretty much the heavy hitter on this. He does all that hard block sanding, etc. Javi, he's the MacGyver, he makes it happen. Lino's another interior dude, but he's a jack of all trades. Ronnie did the midnight shift on a few things. Bob Coslet nailing the graphics as usual. It's a family affair.
It all starts out as a joke, right?
Yeah.
And this is what you get. It's kind of, I don't know if it's good or bad, but hey,
Oh, it's
it
good.
looks cool to me.
I think this is my favorite one yet.
And I even put sparkles in there for you. I know how you like sparkles.
I love it, man. I'm gonna have to put on my Elvis suit to drive this thing. Again, like huge thanks to Victor for just being the ace collaborator. I mean, sane men would never venture down this path. But here we are at the finish line. What a ride.